Hi everybody, I am here to do a highly requested video that a lot of people have been asking me to do, and I guess they're just very interested, and I actually like watching these videos. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. It is called the Controversial Parenting Tag, and I get a lot of questions on a lot of these topics that are in this video, so I'm just going to go over what I do with my children, which is, I would say, mostly all natural, I guess you could say. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first topic is either pro-life or pro-choice. For me personally, I am pro-life for my personal body. I am pro-life. I don't think I could ever go through an abortion unless it's literally life or death. And even then, I don't even know. I would not know unless I'm in that situation. But 99% of the time, for my personal body, I am pro-life. For other people, my belief is pro-choice. I don't have the right to tell other women what to do with their body, but like I said, I am pro-choice for the woman and what she wants to do with her body, because you don't know her situation, you don't know what she's going through, and I just believe that she needs to make that choice for herself. The next topic is baby wearing. Now this one, a lot of you already know that I absolutely love to do. I have several baby carriers. I have some that I love, some that I don't love so much. Most of the ones that I don't love so much are the ones mostly from like Walmart, like the cheapy ones, I guess you can say. But my favorite baby carriers when they're newborns is the Moby Wrap. I absolutely love the Moby Wrap. That's the only one I've actually tried, so I don't have an opinion on any other kind of wraps and stuff. I've tried the ring sling, wasn't too big of a fan. I might have not been doing it right, I guess. I did go with a group of women that at one point that did baby wearing, and we got to try different carriers and stuff like that, and for some reason the ring sling I just couldn't get comfortable with, so I do have a slight opinion on that one, but I didn't use it long enough to have a full opinion. So the Moby Wrap is my favorite for newborns. I absolutely love the Moby Wrap. I love the Ergo carrier, that I have the Ergo Organics carrier. I love that one. And I also have the Miamili Hipster, which I am like, that's my favorite. Like, I absolutely love that one the best. I do want to try a Tula. I have yet to get a Tula to try, so the other three I have strong opinions on, and I absolutely love those three. The Hipster is my favorite because you can use it so many different ways, and it's the best for breastfeeding. I love that one for breastfeeding, so that's like my favorite. The next topic is circumcision, and I get asked this question all the time. No, I do not circumcise my boys or my girls. I do not circumcise my children, and of course you guys know I have a 4-year-old son, and he's not circumcised, and I am pregnant with number 3. We do not know if it's a boy or a girl, and if it's a boy, we are not planning on circumcising this baby either. We just don't believe in it. First of all, one, we are Christians, and Christians don't circumcise. If you read the New Testament, it strictly says in there that it's not part of the New Testament, that it's an Old Testament law that is an Old Testament law, and if you are a Christian, Jesus was the last blood sacrifice, so you don't need to be circumcising your boys anymore for religion. It is only a Jewish and a Muslim tradition for circumcising boys and or girls. And I have been doing over 5 years of research. I am friends with most of the men from the Bloodstained Men, and I am very, very passionate about this subject. So I will be making a complete separate video on this subject just to put some more information out there. I will have a link in the description of a very informative video if you guys want to learn more. If you guys want to learn more to make an informed decision for yourself. But for me personally, I believe in human rights. I believe in the man has the choice to make that. The man has the option to make that choice himself. It is his body. It should be his choice. Same with women. It's her body. It should be her choice. But then again, everybody has their own beliefs. Everybody has their own opinions. So if you want to learn some more about this topic, then go ahead and click that link in the description down below, and you guys can learn a little bit more about this topic if you guys are interested. The next topic is adoption. Now, me personally, I was adopted. I have nothing against adoption. I'm not sure if this is talking about adoption in general, or if it's talking about if I would ever put any of my children up for adoption. I would not ever put any of my children up for adoption, but I do think adoption is an amazing thing. I am very open to adoption, so if I ever want to adopt sometime in the future, I am very open to that. And actually, Bob and I have actually talked about this. It might happen, it might not happen. My older sister has adopted 2 children. She already has 4 of her own, and she adopted 2 more. And I just think that it's just beautiful. I absolutely love adoption. I think it's awesome for a family who is just such a great family to bring in other children into, doesn't matter what age they are, anywhere from birth to 18 years old. I just think it's amazing that these people, these amazing families, bring in these children to help them get a better start in life. And I just think it's just awesome. The next topic is ear piercing. I know in the Hispanic culture, which is Bob's culture, he is Mexican, his family is Mexican, in their culture, it is part of their culture to pierce their little girls' ears when they're babies, which that's not, I don't have a say in that, I don't have an opinion in that, but for my own children, I do not pierce my little girls' ears. My ears were not pierced when I was a baby, and the sisters that I grew up with, their ears were not pierced when they were babies, even though the dad that raised me, the dad that adopted me, he is Puerto Rican, and I think it is part of their culture and their tradition too to pierce their babies' ears. But my sister's ears were not pierced either, and we got that choice to make ourselves, which goes along with his body, his choice, and her body, her choice. I do not believe in piercing my little girl's ears until they can make that choice themselves. And another thing is, I don't believe in the piercing gun. I also don't believe in that. If any of my little girls or my boys, I don't have anything against boys getting their ears pierced. If they ever want to get their ears pierced, I will take them to a piercing parlor. One of Bob's best friends is actually a tattoo artist and a piercer, and he does piercings as well. And we most likely will take our children to him because he does have his own piercing parlor. And that's just what I believe in with ear piercing. I like to have children make that choice themselves. I did not get my ears pierced until I was 22 years old. My sisters were about 6 years old when they got their ears pierced. And my parents kept asking me and I kept saying no. But I did eventually get my ears pierced at the age of 22. The next topic is breast milk versus formula. I am not against formula, as most of you guys know. I am a very passionate breastfeeder. I have breastfed both my kids. My 4-year-old still nurses every now and then. My 3-year-old weaned when she was about 18 months old, but she has a lot of other issues, as most of you guys know about. She has a lot of sensory issues and stuff like that. So she weaned at about 18 months old, which is perfectly fine, and we ended up putting her on formula. She is very, very, very developmentally delayed. So at 18 months old, she was about a 3-4 month old at that time. Like developmentally, she was about a 3 or 4 month old at the time. She could not eat. She had struggled with puree. She still struggled with liquids, but we ended up putting her on infant formula at that time, and she still is on a strict liquid diet, even though she does have a G-tube now. But I am very passionate about breastfeeding my personal children, my own children. I absolutely love breastfeeding. I think it's a beautiful bonding moment for us. And I mean, if it's going to be free, I might as well take it, right? So that's what I love the most about breastfeeding. But I have nothing against moms who bottle feed, who formula feed, who choose a different type of way of feeding their child. So like I said, my daughter was formula fed for some time as well, for about 6 months or so. So I have nothing against formula, but for me personally, I choose breastfeeding over formula. The next topic is spanking. Now, I have spanked Archer a few times. Growing up, I was spanked a lot, and I did not like it. There have been a few times, which was very last resort, that I have actually spanked Archer on certain occasions. But I believe in sitting down and talking to your child. And if your child is upset or angry or throwing a tantrum or stuff like that, you just get up and you just walk away. Make sure that they're okay, obviously. Just get up and walk away, wait till everybody calms down, and then you come back and you talk about it. There are so many different ways that you can handle a child in certain situations. I have taken 7 years of child development classes. I have worked in daycares and child cares for 7 years as well. So that's like 14 years there of like learning and experience. And there are so many different ways to go about it. I know every child is different. Every child learns differently. Every child takes certain things a different way. I do believe in talking to the child because they do understand. And that's why you should always wait until they calm down a little bit. They do understand. They do want to listen. They are still learning, you know, and I just don't believe in violence is the answer. Co-sleeping is the next topic on here, and as many of you guys know, which for some reason a lot of people think it's dumb, I don't understand why, but yes, I still do co-sleep with both my children. Anaí is going to be co-sleeping with us for a very long time because of her seizures and her disabilities. I don't feel comfortable having her in another room, and I just want her there next to us so that we can hear her and see her and make sure she's okay, because she does struggle with a lot of stuff. She has seizures like I said before, and there's been times where she has choked or she's coughed and stuff like that, and I just want to make sure I'm right there to make sure she's okay. Archer is 4 years old and he still does sleep with us, and I don't plan on ever putting him in his own room unless he wants to. But my children do have their own room. Well, it's mostly Archer's room. There is a bunk bed in there, and so if Archer ever wants to sleep in his own room, in his own bed, which he has done in the past a few times, but I don't force it. But he has his own room for that option for when he is ready to get up and go into his own room and sleep in his own bed. I just feel like I just like to have my children there close to me. It has made my son a very independent child. Since day one, he's just been extremely, extremely independent because we have all that bonding time all night long. But then again, every child is different, but I do believe in co-sleeping, and this next baby will also be co-sleeping with us as well. The next topic is home versus public versus private versus charter school. And I went to public school, and I'm most likely going to be sending my kids to public school. I have nothing against homeschool because my older sister homeschools all 6 of her children, and my other sister actually sends her children to public school, so I most likely will probably send my children to public school, but I'm very open to every single option that's out there. If there's something, like say for example, Anai, if she's not doing good in the public school, or even Archer or any of my children, if they're not doing good in the public school, I am very open to other options like homeschooling or private school or charter school or any of those other options, whatever works best for my children to get them the education that they need. The next one is medicating children. Now this one, I'm guessing it's like for like antibiotics and stuff like that. I'm guessing, I'm not 100% sure. So, but as you guys know, Anai is on a lot of seizure medications because of her seizure disorder. She's on a lot of other, well, not a lot of other medications. She takes like Miralax, and she was on lactulose before as well. I am not against medicating children. I am all for going the natural route first before anything else. I don't automatically jump into medications right off the bat, but I always, like I said, I always try to do the natural remedies first. Now, I get a lot of questions on Anai and her seizures and the cannabis oil. We have been trying for over 2 years to get her on cannabis oil. Where we were living before, there was not a doctor that was qualified to prescribe it. We want a doctor that is able to prescribe it for us because it is not cheap and we don't know if we'd be able to afford it all the time. But we finally moved, the place that we're living in now, we finally found a neurologist that is qualified to prescribe cannabis oil for us, and I am so excited. Like I said, we've been trying for this for over 2 years now, and Anai is 3 years old. So, and I have done a lot of research on cannabis oil even before I even had children, so I know a lot of information about that. I still get comments all the time saying, you need to try cannabis oil. Have you heard of cannabis oil? Yes, I have. And thank you guys so much for those comments and everything. And I leave the comments up there even though I have already done research for longer than I can remember about it. But I leave those comments up there so other people can see them. They'd be like, oh, let me do some research on that too. So yes, she's finally, hopefully sometime in the near future, going to be getting on cannabis oil. But as of right now, she is on seizure medications, and when she does get a fever, I right away, for her and her situation, I right away give her mostly Motrin, or yeah, I think it's mostly Motrin. I don't do Tylenol, I do Motrin. And because of her seizures, because if she gets a high fever, or if her fever, even if she has a fever in general, she'll end up having a seizure. So, but with Archer, I always let the fever ride it out. I always let him ride out the fever unless it gets too high. Then I will give him, I'll give him some Motrin to help bring it down. But like I said before, I always try to go the natural route first. The next topic is cloth diapers versus disposable diapers. I am all for the cloth. As most of you guys already know, I absolutely love using cloth diapers. I do use disposables in there as well. For Archer, I used strictly cloth diapers until he was about 2 years old, and then after that, I think it was cloth diapering both Archer and Anai. And after that, it was like we were moving, and it was just there was I think a time period where I did several months of just disposables, which is not bad, you know, I have nothing against disposables, but I absolutely love my stash. I absolutely love to cloth diaper. I love buying cloth diapers. I love using cloth diapers. But I'm not against disposables. I use them, like I said, every now and then too. So yeah, if you guys know me, you guys know that I love cloth diapers. That's like my favorite thing. The next topic is the cry it out method, and I do not believe in the cry it out method. As soon as my children are crying, I always try to see what is wrong. Especially when they are babies, they are crying for a reason. They are either in pain, they're uncomfortable, they're hungry, they're tired. There is some sort of reason as to why they are crying. I don't see anything wrong with if your baby is crying for a long period of time and you're getting frustrated. Put that baby down, walk away. Put that baby down in a safe location, walk away and take a breather, and then come back when you're feeling calm. Like I believe in that. I believe that your sanity is just as important as the baby. But I don't believe in letting your child cry themselves to sleep. I don't believe in letting your child cry because you don't want to spoil them or anything like that. From the research that I have done, children who are held the most or in their parents' presence the most are children that are more independent because they feel more secure. They feel safer, they feel more secure, they feel like you will be there for them regardless of anything. Like they can cry for anything and you're right there for them. And that's just the research I have done on the cry it out method, and I just don't believe in the cry it out method. And you should respond to their cries and their cues. So that is the controversial parenting tag. If you guys have any questions or if you guys want me to go into more details on certain topics, let me know. I already am going to be making a separate video on circumcision because I am so passionate about circumcision. So I already have that video lined up, but if there's any other topic you want me to talk about, even if it's controversial or not, and you want me to make a complete separate video on it and go into more detail, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you guys follow any of these, what your opinions or your views are on a lot of these, or if you guys have done this controversial parenting tag, let me know in the comments down below and I can go ahead and go watch your video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys for the next video.